Learning objectives for today they appear to be pretty simple, but like I said, you'll uncover some things that you don't know. We want to master buyer consultations to uncover true needs, guide buyers to strong lender pre-approvals, show homes strategically, not endlessly, explain agency and Form 220 with confidence, and then write competitive offers that win. So those are our learning objectives for today. So we're going to start with ask the right initial questions. Are you currently working with an agent? Yes, that's the first question. Have you spoken to a lender? No. Why? Well, I'm afraid. Well, we got to start there.
Can I interject one?
Yes.
And it's down at the bottom, what's another step to take to secure the client? And it goes under the lender process. I listened to some phone calls from some of my agents, and they would talk to a client, lead on Zillow, and they would say, do you have a lender?
Cynthia. Hold on, that's me. Okay. You're good, sorry.
The agent would ask, do you have a lender? And if the client would say no, they would say, call me back.
Here's a lender number. Call me back. Yeah.
What just happened? They lost the lead. So I even go the extra step to take the time, if they're willing, because not everybody wants to talk about their finances. Thursday's going to tell a situation where a client didn't really want to get into their finances. But if they are comfortable with that, call the lender with them. That's a great time to educate that client on the process, on points, on closing, on the whole process and all the costs that are involved. Mm-hmm. And I have never lost a lead doing that.
Also, you keep from wasting time showing properties that they can't afford. So the lender has to be step one.
Yes.
I have a what's the word? You want to interject? I would like to interject too.
Help us teach.
So a lot of times, right, when you ask a potential client, a lead, are you working with the agent? They'll say, yeah. But a lot of times they really aren't. They don't realize that they haven't signed any paperwork.
The paperwork is key. Yes.
Which constitute that relationship.
The agency.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because I'm like, oh, okay, so you signed paperwork? No, I haven't signed paperwork. Oh, so you're not working with it.
Committed,
So
right?
I'm not
Committed, right, yeah.
Point that out, because sometimes
Yes,
and
yes.
people don't even realize that they're actually technically not even working.
That's so true.
And then on the other side of that, with us as the brokers, we have to make sure that we get them to sign their paperwork as quickly as possible.
Yes.
Because that does leave them open to other people.
Right.
Absolutely. If unsure, so sometimes buyers confuse pre-qualification with pre-approval. A pre-approval is more thorough and gives us stronger negotiating power when we find the right home. So recently I had a young lady and we were having issues with her condo being approved through the new condo requirements. I don't know, has anybody sold a condo lately? So
this is important.
They have to go through a condo verification company now to make sure that all of the insurances are present for the condominium complex. And it is very lengthy and it is very complicated, and oftentimes you get rejected from the condo insurance company, the condo company, even though your client has qualified and is ready to close. So you have to make sure, if you're going to do a condo, call them and ask them if they're up to speed on all of their insurances. Also, call your lender. They have a system that they can look in and see if this condominium complex is already pre-approved. So before you get all into the whole condo situation, make sure you get that done, because I promise you, I've had deals fall apart because of it.
So
Do
that's
they-
the
do
whole-
they-
oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, do they check to see like the percentage of rentals that's allowed?
Yes.
too?
A lot of
Like, they
yes.
do that, the insurance?
Yes. So it depends on the loan you're getting.
Okay.
So if you're gonna get an FHA loan, you can only have a certain percentage of the properties be rentals.
Okay.
Generally with With
Convention?
conventional, they don't care as much.
Okay.
But if you're gonna do FHA, definitely need to make sure that you got the percentages right.
And I wanted to add, the HOA could have some stipulations. So a lot of the
Yeah.
HOAs
Yeah.
now say
Yeah.
they don't want more than 5% of the
Right.
community to be rental property. So that's something as agents, we have to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Upfront, if we know we got an
Yeah.
investor
That's
looking to
why,
buy.
that's why I had to sell my property, because they were getting ready to change the rules of HOA.
Oh, wow.
No, I don't wanna stick around for this.
Gotcha.
So that's why I sold, cause I wanna be able to rent to anybody or sell to
Right.
another investor that wants to put somebody in there.
Right.
I said, I'm gonna get out of this.
Because that limits your pool, doesn't it?
I saw
Well,
that pipeline.
And then also you have these new bylaws that are coming in that prohibit short-term rentals. So you have to be careful if you have an investor that that property is approved for short-term rentals if they want to do an Airbnb. Because sometimes, you know, you'll have HOAs that say, and it's new. I sold the property and they were okay with short-term rentals. 6 months later, they changed the bylaws and now it's no short-term rentals. So still have to be aware.
And I think a lot of that is because of the emergence of Airbnbs.
Yes, yes, people don't like the turnover in the
transient, yeah.
the neighborhood.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
exactly.
All right, let's go to the next slide. Compensation clarity, set expectations early. Are you familiar with how agent compensation works when buying a home?
And that's just a brief conversation up front. So we just want to make sure all agents are making it clear in that initial conversation that we do need to talk about this down the road. And we'll get to that a little bit further.
Yeah, and especially as buyer's agents, you want to make sure you go over that, hey, we will try to get our compensation from the seller, but, you know, ultimately you are responsible for that.
That's right.
Ask the right financial preparedness questions. How much have you set aside for your down payment and closing costs? Sometimes you get nothing, right? So now I have to go find a lender that's got down payment assistance and all the things. You'd be surprised at how many people have good credit and no money. So you have to try and figure out a workaround. Sometimes it's, okay, little girl, go home, save up $1,500 so you can have some reserve before we get started with this process. Are your funds already liquid and ready to use, or are they tied up, e.g. investments or a sale? Why is that important? Because of aging in lending. Some banks require aging 30 to 60 to 90 days, it just depends on the bank. And you want to make sure that that person is, if they have stocks and bonds they need to sell, that all of those things are ready to go. If not, you can delay your closing. Will anyone be helping with your purchase financially? Is your mama giving you money? Because if your mother is giving you money, then that too needs to age. It needs to be in your account for at least 30 to 60 days so that they're not asking you where it came from. Because if they ask you where it came from, they're going to say, my mom. Okay, well, mom, we need to see your statements where you got it. I mean, it becomes convoluted. So always remember to check on aging of funds.